award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're out here in the wild today. We're doing a remote show here with Mr. Matt Dale from Dale Outdoors. This is part two, I guess you could say. He's been with us for a few days here, and we've shot a couple of shows. Glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Also helping me co-host today is Don King.
Yes, sir, and I think we need to adopt this outdoor studio right here
I think
Parsley Farm.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Mike Parsley. Mr. Mike Parsley is helping us co-host today. Appreciate you hosting us here.
No problem. We're having fun.
Oh, yeah. Having a good time. We killed a turkey this morning, and you'll have to go back and watch the first show to get those details. We covered that. If you haven't seen that one, go back and check it out. But Matt, introduce yourself to the folks. If this is the first time they've seen you and heard from you, let them know who you are, and then we'll jump into what today's show is all about, public land hunting and some of that kind of stuff.
Well, my name's Matt Dale from Dale Outdoors on YouTube. Been doing YouTube for a few years, and got a pretty popular little channel on there.
I'd say so.
Educator, turkey hunting educator. So just an old turkey hunter from Virginia that enjoys this. Still do. After all these years.
Never gets old, huh?
Never get 30 years of chasing them, never gets old. No.
Well, you say you love Tennessee and you'd love to move here one day.
Yeah.
And this is your first Tennessee bird, right?
It is. I've been to Tennessee a lot, over the years, and but never hunted it. Lived right next door to it, just never hunted it. And but I can check that one off the list.
Yeah, we changed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to have you. I appreciate you being with us again, and it's been a fun couple of days here. Let's jump into what this show's all about: public land hunting, public land turkey hunting, hunting in general. You know, so tell us a little bit about how you approach, say, public land and that kind of thing when you're checking it out.
I get asked this question a lot, and I said I'm probably not the best to go to public land because I don't hunt a lot of public land, but I do hunt public. I hunted some public in Alabama already this year.
Yeah.
And I've killed some birds on public, and I'm sure there's thousands of acres in Tennessee of public land. That's actually good.
A lot of opportunity, yeah.
A lot of opportunities. So a lot of guys will sit around and go, man, I ain't got no place to hunt. I ain't got no place to hunt. And they worry about the pressure. They worry about other people. But you can find hidden gems. It's like Dale Hollow Lake here. You don't go out on this lake. And how many acres is it?
Oh, I have no idea.
But it's on the spot.
It's large.
It's big.
It's big, right? Let's just say a 30,000 acre lake. And, you look at that driving across a bridge and go, boy, I bet there's some big fish in there. And they are, but they're probably not where you're looking.
Yeah.
You got a massive amount of land that you can fish, but there's only hidden spots. There's only certain spots in that lake.
Time of year and things like that.
Yeah, everything changes. So that's kind of like the way you approach public land. As far as, and I think most public land turkey hunters, they might not admit it, but I think this is what they mostly do is what I'm about to tell you. Always remember, public land, most of your turkeys are going to be where there's no pressure. Where's that at? Private. It always butts up against some kind of farmland, private land. So what I do, and it's a deer hunting too, I always hunt the outside perimeters. Don't get over on don't get on the private, but you hunt the outside. That's where you start. Now, I'm not saying turkeys won't be deep in the national forest. They might. But where I start and get out, like when you pull into a property and you go, I have no idea what I'm doing. where do I even start? Fine, now you got, back when I first started turkey hunting, when I was a teenager, you didn't have this Onyx stuff and this maps. You just had to put shoe leather on and walk it and find out.
Right.
But now you got topo maps and you got all these maps, where you could pull it up and before you ever set tires on that place, you can see what cover, you can see what fields, you can see what food. Turkey's got to have what? Food, water, and cover. That's what they got to have.
Yeah.
So if you can find water, so look for creek drainages, look for them creeks. Turkeys like to roost, close to creeks up and, not all the time, but they like to roost around water. And find where they want to be. fields. They like to get out in fields and strut. So if Farmer Jones over here butts up against public land, well, let's look over and see what Farmer Jones got.
Yeah, right.
So you're just staying on public, and you're basically just going up the outside perimeter calling, and you're going to eventually strike a gobbler. And then if he's on public, you kind of pinpoint where he's at. If he's on private, don't let that discourage you, because, listen, turkeys, they back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
Call him over. Call him off Farmer Jones. Call him over to you. So I stay, and if you watch a lot of, like, YouTube, public land hunters, and you watch a lot of, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's basically what they're doing, and it works. It really does. And you just get up high. This is another thing, is get up high. If you're like early in the mornings, get as high as you can on that public land and put as much ears on that ground as you can. Because there's no point sitting way down here, gobblers, you can't hear them. Get up high, locate them. That's day one. And it may take you 1 or 2, 3 days to even figure out kind of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like here. It took us a couple days just to figure out how to hunt this place, or for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know,
That's what I was going to say. I mean, private land and public land
it works both
very
ways.
similar. Because,
right.
we hunted forest most of the time, but we skirted those fields just to see what's going on and see where they're coming in and out.
Yeah, and, I think that's where a lot of people, it's a good starting point, because it can get overwhelming. It really can. You're like, man, I don't even know where to start. You got 5,000 acres here, public land. Where do I even start? Or you got national forest, which is thousands of acres.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think you can just walk off the road, get up there and call, and unless you got a lucky horseshoe, it ain't gonna happen.
And like you said, if you're going to get out to the perimeter, a lot of times that's a fur piece from where you got to park and get out of the car.
Yeah, listen, how many times do you think a turkey has been run off by somebody parking in a parking lot, going up there and yelping on a box call?
Yeah.
And, they just get pushed back just like deer. So sometimes you got to get back where they're at. But at the same time, I've know guys that's walked right off the hard top road and go down there and call, and he just happened to be there, But you don't know till you get out there. Mm-hmm. So anybody that's leery about it, hey, there's a lot of great information on hunting public land, and I'm just giving you like the little points, where to start. But you just get out there and find the sign. Listen, sign will never lie to you. Mm-hmm. I've always said that. Sign will never lie. Something made that. Uh-huh. We saw how much, where we shot this turkey, how much scratching was there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
Just looked like a bunch of, and over there we didn't see a lot, when we was going. But when we got around this turkey where he was at, man, and he wasn't the only one doing that. It was looked like a huge flock had come through there. But you find the sign. If we wouldn't have seen this turkey and I'd have saw that, I'd have said, hey, find this sign. Droppings, scratches, something made that. That didn't just magically appear.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, and I've always said, a good fall hunter, and I know Tennessee's got fall turkey hunting.
Yeah.
A good fall hunter will make a superb spring hunter, because a fall hunter, they don't go on their gobbling. A lot of times in the spring, people go on their gobbling. If they ain't gobbling, it's a bad morning. Just give it up. Go to the house. Go Shoney's. Go to Hardee's. They're done by 8 o'clock. They ain't gobbling. But you got to remember, turkey don't have to gobble to get a hen. Why do you think he does this? He's out there strutting. Why do you think he struts? He's out there attracting them.
Visual.
They see him. Yeah. He don't have to gobble. So in the fall, where you have to depend on calling, a different way, and sign. See that the good old fall hunters, they kind of already got that down pat. So if turkeys ain't gobbling in the spring, we don't care. We don't care if they ain't gobbling or not. We'll go kill them anyway. It makes it harder. I'm not saying it don't, but. That's where you start on public land, outside perimeters.
Yeah.
Deer hunting too,
And what's great about some of these public lands that we have here in Tennessee, they're the same as statewide seasons a lot of times.
Yeah.
Check your guide, read up on your guide, but a lot of these WMAs are the same as statewide seasons. So that means, say if it was this year, you'd get 3 birds, and one a day. So
and shameless plug, there's tons of information about the WMAs on our website.
Yeah, tnwildlife.org.
Yep.
We looked at it the other day. There's Standing Stone WMA that's 15 minutes away?
Yeah, just down the road.
30,000 acres of land.
Yeah, that's a lot of land.
You and I, and my mom and dad and grandparents have all paid for already. You don't have to go out and buy some.
It's your land.
It's right there.
And that's a state park. So check your guide. Some of these state parks are allowed to be hunted on.
At least a portion of it.
Yeah. And then also, just like yesterday, we did a little fishing. Turkeys ain't talking, we'll go fishing. Yeah. But there's property around Dale Hollow, around Old Hickory, and on some of these other bodies of water, it's only accessible by water in some cases, but opportunities are there.
But think about it. How many people's going to take a boat? Some of them will, die-hard turkey hunters, but how many people's going to take their boat 15 minutes up Dale Hollow Lake just to get on a ridge and park their boat and get on a ridge? You get unpressured turkeys that way. And a lot of times you get them turkeys that they're more easier to call in than, say, one that just gets hammered all the time. And I think that's what scares a lot of people. When I say public land, I'm not against it at all. I've hunted public. I'm not above hunting public at all. It's just that I get so many opportunities to hunt private. Well, of course I'm going to hunt private, It's not really because the turkeys are any different. It's just I don't worry about the turkeys. I worry about the other people. And so you got to be careful on private too, but you got to be careful on public because there's some crazy people out there that just shoot at anything, But don't let that get away from people.
Yeah.
Get away from people. And most of the time when I hunt public, I never see another hunter. So.
Yep. We're going to try to do that some this year and get out there and at least I am and see if I can find some turkeys on public land. It's fun.
Yeah.
But okay, let's talk about. We kind of hit on this even. What's some other tips for new property? What do you look for? What do you look for on new property?
When you came here, what when you pulled in the driveway, what did you say you needed to do to figure this out?
Well, I didn't know that till we got down there yesterday. And if I would have known that we had to go all the way over there, I said, take the Ranger, But he said, we're going to take the Ranger. I said, I don't know because I'm afraid we'll go down in here and we'll bust them out of here. See, I didn't know. But I didn't know how it laid.
You just wanted to go on a hike. A couple miles.
That was a hike.
That was a hike, yeah. And
23,000 steps later.
But, I think access, I look for access, good access. It's not that you're being lazy. It's just you don't want to have to kill yourself either. Anyway, and I look for creek water. This has got water here. You look for cover. Lord of mercy, you got tons of cover. And you look for food, food sources that this property butts up against neighbors' fields and stuff, and you see them out there strutting. So they got everything they need. Well, if I'm looking at a map, and yesterday when we just walked around here for 7 hours and trying to find a turkey, I was basically just walking, and we were calling, but I was just looking. And I felt, and I said last night when we got back, I said, we're just going to have to get up. It's too open because it's time of year. Now, maybe late season, get some foliage on. It might be easier to hunt this place. But right now, it's just the turkeys are high because they're not going to get way down in a valley. I mean, unless you blow them. But most of them are going to stay on benches. They're going to stay, and you're high. And if you try to get below them, they're up here. They're going to see it. If you're on benches and you're above them, they're going to see it. So it's just really tough. This is a tough property to hunt because it's so steep and it's just so open. Mm-hmm. So you really pretty much got to slow down, like you was talking about earlier. Slow down. I know we all want to fish fast and move fast, and sometimes I do too. But you just got to slow down because if you start running through there turkey calling trying to get a hot gobbler going, you're going to blow out half the stuff on your property. So it's just tough. And once I seen that yesterday, I said, we're just going to have to slow down a lot.
Yeah.
And it worked though.
I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
I mean, just the how you did that and how you approached that bird and worked around those tops, and I would still been over calling, like I said earlier.
Well, the good thing about a place like this too, or any timber situation, because I've always said I'd 10 times rather timber hunt than I would field hunt. Now, it's not meaning I won't shoot one in the field. I shot one last week in Mississippi in a field. I'll sit in the field and wait for them. If that's what wherever turkey at, that's where I'm going to be. Uh-huh. It's not like, I'm not going to hunt that turkey's in the field. No, I'm going to go where the turkey's at. But if I had my druthers, I'd rather hunt in the timber because you can move, crawl. I crawled on this turkey, for a bit. You can't do that in a field situation. You can't do that in an open situation. But if you can work the benches and but you got to remember, if they ain't gobbling men, it's just you're moving and you're putting so much pressure. And we probably walked by a lot of turkeys yesterday.
Yeah,
that never said a thing. Mm-hmm. But so that's how I kind of approach it.
Well, this was a early season bird right here, but it's getting later in the season now. How do you hunt late season?
Man, late season, it's bittersweet because turkey season's getting close to being over, and it's like, oh man, you're like, no, I ain't ready for it to be over yet. But I would rather hunt late season. That's my favorite time to hunt. April, I love April. I love March in the South, but that ain't nothing can compare to a May gobbler. That's just because a turkey that's 4 or 5 years old that wouldn't say a word in April because he was all henned up, wouldn't say a word. You just had a bunch of 2-year-old and 3-year-olds just gobbling their heads off. That's when the big boys start just ripping, man. I mean, really? And you just start. Just about every turkey I kill in May has big old hooks on them. I killed one in Ohio a couple years ago, had 1.5 spurs. I mean, they were like razor hooks. And that turkey probably never said a word 2 or 3 weeks later or earlier. But they get by themselves. The hens start going there because they're going to nest. You got to remember, they're going to do what's natural. So right now, a lot of guys guarantee we're taping this, dealing with henned up turkeys. Just they got hens, and it's going to get worse. I hate to tell you, but here in about 2 weeks, it's going to get worse. You're going to start seeing them with 10, 15 hens. And when they got 10, 15 girls around them, they don't have to gobble. Uh-huh. So the gobbling goes way down, and it never fails. Every year I get the same thing. People will text me. People will message me on Facebook. What's wrong with the turkeys? What's wrong with the turkeys? Nothing's gobbling. They was gobbling their heads off 2 or 3 weeks ago. They got hens. That's just, they're henned up. They gobble on the roost, they fly down, they got hens. But in the late season, when you get about that May, it depends on where you live and everything. Mm-hmm. But like right here in Tennessee, from about May the 7th, 8th on into the close, man, that 2 weeks can be phenomenal. It's the same in Virginia. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's just like the gobbling just it's crazy. And you might hear 4 or 5 turkeys a morning just hammering. But it's just turkeys that's by themselves. Uh-huh. And if they ain't by themselves early, they'll be by themselves 10, 11 o'clock in the day. So don't ever overlook that 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock time in the late season because turkeys might be with hens. She leaves to go nest. He's by himself. And if you oversleep, maybe, you got to work till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Man, I can't hunt. No, get out there at 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Because, man, I'm telling you, it can be most of the turkeys I kill in late season in May, I never kill one early hardly. I should just sleep, but I don't. But I ought to. I can go out there at 9, 10 o'clock and just get them fired up. Where right now, it's a little different.
You got to get out there before.
Right.
I think we messed up that first day of the hunt. We should have been up a little bit earlier. It was already getting daybreak.
Yeah, they were right there. We jumped that big gobbler.
Yeah.
And he was on the ground. Mm-hmm. So late season can be great, though. But you just got, as far as calling late season, I try not to get super loud. Sometimes you got to. Turkey, sometimes you got to. But I try to keep everything softer and just being that hen that's moved in, that new girl that's moved in, and he's like, oh, who's that? I haven't heard that one. I didn't get her, I ain't got her yet. And I've seen so many days where you go out at 9:30 and get him fired up, he'll be dead by 10. Just run right in on you. And he'll come I've seen him come 200 yards in 30 minutes. It's like kamikaze, I call them the kamikaze turkeys. I love late season. But it's like I said, turkey season's getting close. One of the biggest turkeys I ever killed, one I named my calls after, the old Sly. I don't name turkeys, but that one I named because I had a pet peeve with him. And I called him in 6 times in the whole season. Within shotgun range, I couldn't kill him. It's just something went, he slid by me. That's why I called him Sly. He slid by me every time. Same turkey. And I killed him the last day of Virginia season that year, May the 17th. 17th of May, the last day, called that joker in. And he was so hard to kill, but May the 17th, it was like a whole different turkey. Where he was so tough to kill in April when he had 50 hens around him. Not 50, but 12, 13 hens around him. He by himself. And I just caught him on a day when he was just by himself.
And just the right perk.
And he had over 1.5 inch spurs, had a 12-inch beard, just 24-pound gobbler in Virginia and in the mountains, and 24-pound turkey in Virginia, maybe Iowa and Missouri and all that we hunt. It may not be a big turkey to you, but places like this, a 24-pound gobbler is a big gobbler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just an old turkey, so they can it's almost like. I call it a whitetail when they get in that rut phase. They just get stupid. Now, they don't never get stupid, and turkeys don't ever get stupid, but it's almost like they drop their guard a little bit because they're desperate. They're wanting that last go. So it can be phenomenal.
So you say you switch, you call it up just a little bit during that late season?
Yeah, like instead of like right now in April, I'll be doing that stuff. Maybe a month from now, I might just doing a lot of that stuff. I call it the under your breath calling. That's where you're not opening your mouth. You're just it's coming down from here. So if you watch, I'm pushing everything, and I'm not even. It's going to sound louder in the mic, of course, but you're just. Stuff like that, man. Just soft it down. A lot of times you hit that old 10 o'clock bird, you'll be packing him out by 10:30. And usually it's a quick hunt. Usually it is.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Well, we've had you on a few workshops. We've started doing some webinars and workshops with the agency. You came on, did a series of 3 different things, and we put some of those videos on our YouTube channel. You can go check those out. But we've talked about decoys, and I know we haven't touched on decoys in the last couple of shows. What do you use decoys early season, and do you change it up and use decoys late season? Or do you use decoys
I don't use decoys. Nothing against them. I just don't. I mean, I did shoot my Mississippi gobbler last week over a decoy, but that's because the guy I was hunting with had one, and it was an evening hunt. So if I was going to use one, I own one decoy that I hardly ever use. I'm not against them. It's not my style of hunting.
Yeah.
But I would rather for it to just be me and the turkey, because decoys can mess you up. Yeah, they can get caught. I mean, they can get gobbler. A gobbler can get almost shy away from a decoy, because if he's a subordinate gobbler, especially he's 2-year-old, 3-year-old that's been whooped all over the creation, and he sees a Jake decoy or a gobbler decoy out there, and he wants to come to you, and he sees that, what's he going to do? He's going to turn around because he's not allowed to come. So that's why a lot of people say, "Oh man, why did that gobbler shy away from decoy?" On TV, they just come in, we can throw his blow dog.
That's TV.
Right, it's TV. They don't show y'all the ones that did shy away. But decoys can work great, especially if you got a kid or you got somebody that can't sit still, and you're in a blind or something. A bow hunter's just about got to have something to get the turkey's mind. Decoys, though, if you use a decoy, don't set a decoy right in front of you. Like a lot of people get tunnel vision, they'll want to set it right directly in front of the gun barrel. No, because that gobbler gets out there, he can see past that decoy. You want to get that decoy either to your right, to your left. Usually if you're right-handed, you want to sit over here. Left, you want to get over here. You want that gobbler to walk past you, so his mind ain't even on your area, so you can get him away. And, don't put him out there 40, 50 yards. You got a shotgun. Put him up there 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
And he'll just walk right on by you a lot of times, and you can move a little bit. But decoys can mess you up. So right now, this time, you could get away with a gobbler or a Jake, if he's a dominant gobbler. Like maybe this turkey's probably a 4-year-old turkey, so he probably would have come in and flogged the decoy,
Right.
But late season, I would say a lone hen if I was going to do one.
That's what I was going to ask, because you said they're looking for that
Just
lonely hen
one
that you're trying
hen.
to mimic.
In fact, I had a guy message me a couple years ago, or maybe last year on Facebook, and he said, "Man, I got this situation. Of course, a lot of people ask me stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not on the property. I don't know what the gobbler's doing." But he said, "Man, this gobbler keeps in. He keeps coming in." And he said the same gobbler's come in for 2 days straight, and he said he only comes like 60 yards to decoys. And he's like, he wants to come, but then he just turns around and walks off. What's wrong? I said, "What kind of decoys you got?" He said, "I got a Jake and a hen." Take the Jake out. Take the Jake out, put a hen up there. And I think it's a couple days later, he sent me a picture. He said, "It worked, man." He's like, he come right in, just strutted all around that decoy, But he's like, it didn't even occur to me. Like, I thought they would come in and just get jealous.
No competition.
Well, sometimes they do get jealous if they're a boss gobbler. But if he's been whooped up and down, because everything's about the pecking order. Even I wish we had time to get into it, but even calling, it's that pecking order, man. And turkeys have a pecking order: spring, summer, fall, winter. It's all about who's in charge. So when the boss gobbler gets taken out, another one takes his place. But try that lone hen; that'll probably do you a lot better.
Well, tell folks how they can find your stuff out there. You got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You got your
YouTube, DellOutdoors.com. Dell Outdoors on YouTube, and I got a website, DellOutdoors.com. Facebook, Instagram, they can come to my website and find all that stuff, and on the YouTube page also. But I'm pretty much I try to stay in my lane. You're not going to come to my channel see a bunch of heads get blowed off. You will see some. You'll see this turkey get killed, but I'm mostly an educator. Mm-hmm. I want to just teach people how to turkey hunt. And when someone sends me a picture or says, "Man, I killed my first gobbler," just like I got a message yesterday, "Man, I killed my first gobbler today," and it was all because of you watching your videos. Or I hear a guy say, "Man, I tagged out for the first time. Never tagged out in my life. I was just lucky to kill one, all these other years, but I've tagged out. I'm starting to get this thing because of you." That's my reward right there.
Yeah.
You watching me shoot a turkey, it's fun, it's entertaining, or anybody, but it ain't going to teach you nothing. And that's what a lot of guys, they do, and they see all these shows and stuff, and they go out and try to do that on their property. It don't work, because you got to remember, these guys are hunting places you never get to hunt. Unpressured turkeys, and they ain't hunting public land. Most of them, I guarantee you that. Some of them are, but I'm just trying to teach people 30 years of turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Passing. That's the theme of our channel. Pass the knowledge. So that's where you can find me on there.
Well, I think it's cool. Go back and watch this hunt. Watch this video, because as soon as he kills that bird, I pan over to the right to see the bird, and he's like, "No, get back over here on me. I need to tell you what just happened. This is that strut zone, and you're really educating people right after you pull the trigger."
When I pulled the trigger, I said, "Did I not call it, or did I not call it?" And that's not bragging on me. That's just saying when you learn to read turkeys, you're going to kill turkeys. Yeah. And when you learn their habits and you learn their, just how to hunt them. But by the time this airs, get out in that late season, man, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Late season's awesome.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming down.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I know me and
thank you, Matt.
Me and Mike learned a lot, and I appreciate you hanging out with us for a few days.
Maybe he'll put me on a whitetail.
Hey, we can do that. We can do that.
I got tags, so if I got tags, I'm coming somewhere.
We'll do it. Maybe we'll hit some public land too. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
it'd be fun.
Would. So
anyway, all right, catch some fish, do all that fun.
Yeah.
Hey, remember Dell Outdoors on YouTube. Check him out on all his Facebook, social media, all that fun stuff. Check out the agency, tnwildlife.org. Get your license, go outdoorstennessee.com. Download the app. Easy to check the turkey in, right?
Yeah, real easy.
Really
very easy.
So just keep coming back. We appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Matt.
You bet. Thanks, Todd, for pushing the buttons and keeping us all straight.
Can't do it without him either. So appreciate you. Keep tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.